Hey everyone, welcome back to BSG Automotive, and today we have a 2012 Nissan Rogue that we're doing spark plugs on, just regular tune-up maintenance type stuff. So I'll show you how to do that. They're pretty simple. There's a few tips and tricks along the way, so I'll walk you through it. But like I said, they're pretty simple. The plugs to get for these are the NGK laser Iridiums, and these are the plugs that are put in from the factory, so you want to match that and not get other different brands. Same thing as Fords. If you start mixing different brands into there, they can start having problems, so you might as well just get the originals and use them for the 100,000 miles, and it really ain't that bad of a price for 4 of these. Alright, so obviously you want to work on a cold engine whenever you're doing spark plug changes. This one's a little hard to get to. This one way over here, I think it's number 4, but the rest of these are pretty simple. There's a 10mm bolt, the coil pops out, and then you start taking the plug out of there. One important tip before you start pulling any of these out of there is to clean the area with compressed air so nothing falls down in there. So what I'll do is I'll demonstrate on this cylinder right here, this coil that's right underneath this airbox resonator, and we'll go from there. This one's going to be the toughest one to get to. So there's a couple 10mm bolts. There's one right here. These brackets on here. I like to use the wiper cowl to contain them. And a little push fastener underneath there. And then there's another clamp right over here that goes to the air inlet there. Just loosen that, and we should be able to wiggle it off of there. Break it free. And there's a PCV line right here that comes up and through here for the fresh air inlet on there. Alright, now the best thing to do is get the whole thing out of the way, so we'll take the pliers on this side, bring this clamp up, and then we're going to loosen it. Okay. The whole thing will come right off of there. Okay, so now you can see all 4 coils here are free and clear to basically unbolt, unclip the electrical connector, and they'll come right out. I'm going to take all these off of here. And then since they're so buried in here with this main harness right here, it's best to pull up on them, a little stick in there just a little bit, and then you have full access to unclip this. Just depress the connector tab here, push in on the connector, and then pull out. Let me get the coil out of here. And all these coils are the same, so there's no specific order, nothing like that. Pull up again, same thing. That's hard to see. Push it in, and then pull out on it. One more time. Now again, once the coils are out of the way, you want to clean the spark plug well themselves with compressed air. And these plugs should come right out of here pretty easy. I mean, the torque is only about 15 foot-pounds, and there really isn't any issues with these plugs. They're just a really long thread, so let's be ready for it. Once they're loose, you can kind of grab them like this and spin it a little bit faster. Don't use any kind of electric tools on these. You're bound to mess the threads up on them. That's never good on a cylinder head. Use your magnetic retriever, go down in there, and out they come. Now these plugs, they come from the factory pre-gapped, and that's why they have sleeves on them, so if you want, you can check them, but just look them over real quick, make sure there's no damage from shipping. Otherwise, we can drop these right into there. A little bit of anti-seize on here is always a good idea. So I know it's not needed nowadays with the platings on these, but it's always a good idea to put a real small amount on there just for future removal. Same thing, put it down into there, and we can start threading it in by hand. And I do mean by hand. Put your socket and your extension on there and just spin with light pressure and it should go right in. This way you'll be able to make sure you're not cross-threading. And it'll go to a stop on there, and from there on we can torque it. Now you do have a gasket on them, so you want to make sure that's crushed, which the 15 foot-pound spec should do it no problem. Otherwise, if you don't have a torque wrench, what you can do is by feel, you'll feel the washer crushing in there, and then you feel a dead stop. Once you hit that dead stop, just give it a little bit more, and that's it. Now after you have one done, you just simply repeat the same procedure, blowing it out, the anti-seize and all that, and start going down the line on here. Now one tip going back in is make sure the boot on here is not full of oil. It means you have a valve cover gasket leak, and you want to take care of that before you go any further. This one's nice and clean, everything looks fine on it, so we're going to put a little bit of dielectric grease on here, real small amount, and a tip there like that. And that'll insulate it, and then you just simply place it back down into there. And the bolt on here will actually line everything back up for you perfectly. Tighten our quill bolt down, just snug it up. You can make sure that the connector for the quill goes in and fully clips in. You'll hear it make a click noise like that, and give it a little bit of a tug, and you'll make sure it doesn't come off going down the road. Now a few notes on the spark plug changes on here. What you want to use is a extension, obviously, and a swivel of sorts, and they take a 9/16 spark plug socket on here instead of a usual 5/8. Be ready to have that on hand. Alright, let's get this airbox, this resonator back onto here. Like I said, it sticks in right here. You can see where it has a nipple on here. It sticks in right here, and I'll kind of align it for you. But what you want to do first is get this breather hose back on here, and of course the clamp back down, and then it will swivel with you as you adjust everything else. Let's get it back to the old marking on there. Alright, now lining it back up, there's a little notch right here on the resonator. So line it up with the air intake tube. It's got a little slot on it. Let's get this into there, push into place. We'll get this started. And then we'll fully push this in, straighten it, and tighten this clamp back here. And the same thing over here. And literally that's all there is to change the spark plugs on the 2.5 liter. Just like a lot of other car manufacturers, everything's right on top on these 4 cylinders. So you pull some coils out, you pull some spark plugs out, and basically everything just falls into place. Just follow my tips and tricks for the spark plug gap and the torque spec, and make sure you're thorough and clean about it, and then make sure everything's put back together properly, and you should have no issues going down the road thereafter, and save yourself quite a bit of money over taking it someplace to get it done. Like I said, it's very, very simple. You can get it done in about 10 to 15 minutes. So all the links to the parts I use and the tools I use to get the job done right every day here at my shop will be down below in the description.